Welcome back. The Prime Minister is in the UK meeting with leaders of progressive countries, hoping to strike deals, strengthen ties with our friends. Parliamentary Secretary to the Prime Minister and MP for King's Hants, Kody Blois, recently returned from China, meeting with officials about things like tariff and trade. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Todd.
Welcome to the studio. We'll get to that in a minute. We ran a story in the newscast about Canada Post. It's sort of the conversation of the day. So I want to ask you, you're primarily a rural riding. One of the things that's being talked about quite a bit is the potential of losing rural post offices.
Yep.
And just how vital they are in communities.
So just quickly on this, Canada Post has lost almost $5 billion in the last 7 years. So the announcement that the government made yesterday was actually really about saving Canada Post. We know that Canadians value the service that the post office offers, but we also have to make sure it's fit for purpose. And we could get into letter mail and the changes that have happened over time. But what Minister Lightbound announced yesterday was actually directives around the governance of Canada Post. This is not about removing rural post offices across the country. Some of this dates back to 30 years where communities that are demonstrably suburban, Scarborough, Markham, they are no longer rural in any definition and allowing a little bit more flexibility.
Do you see a loss of post offices in King's Hants? Right.
There very well could be, but those are decisions that are going to be had between management. Part of what we've planned is actually management to come back with a comprehensive plan about some of these flexibilities. But we need to make sure we protect the service, Todd, and we've got to make sure that we can ensure that we can get post to rural communities, to northern communities. If we didn't make these changes, it's just not financially sustainable over time.
Let's talk about trade. I mentioned you just got back from China. You were with the Premier of Saskatchewan, Mo, very concerned about those tariffs on canola. Down here, it's primarily seafood, some pork that has a heavy tariff on it, largely because of the EVs. There's some talk about rolling back that 100% tariff on EVs. What was that meeting like? Do you expect that there will be some movement on removing those tariffs against Canada?
So let's just take a step back here. I mean, step number one, we started this conversation by saying the Prime Minister is in the United Kingdom. He's been spending a lot of time internationally building up relationships. It was a privilege to be able to join Premier Mo on behalf of the Government of Canada, working alongside our ministers. I found the conversations in China were positive. Chinese authorities were willing to engage in these conversations because rightfully so, the relationship has not been in a great place over the last number of years. Our Prime Minister is looking to have a pragmatic and constructive pathway forward with a number of countries where, Todd, we may not agree with a whole host of issues, but we're going to focus on the areas where we can constructively work forward. So we're not in those conversations yet about where this may go, but there's a clear pathway for more dialogue.
So you mentioned the Prime Minister in the UK meeting with partners. Those partners, UK, Europe, others, have inked deals with the United States. And now we're trying to increase our trade with them. But they have that deal with the U.S. We don't. We haven't heard anything for quite some time. Where does the conversation stand
respectfully,
with the United
States? I would disagree. We have...
Well, we haven't heard anything.
Well, we have the best deal. It's the USMCA, CUSMA. It is the deal that...
but we also have sectoral tariffs of 50% against lumber, against steel, against aluminum. But we haven't heard anything about where talks are with the United States. Can you tell us where they stand? Of course.
So Minister LeBlanc obviously is handling that file alongside Kirsten Hillman, our ambassador in Washington. Those conversations are ongoing. The United States has put out a number of sectoral tariffs, I should say, Todd, in relation, and we know that that's having a big impact, particularly in certain industries here in Canada. Again, Canada's effective tariff rate is still the best in the world. We are going into a review of the overall continental agreement heading into 2026. We're going to continue to make the case to the U.S. administration that we need to be able to work on those sectoral tariffs that we know the U.S. administration feels these are important for their economy, but because of the integrated nature of the continental economy, we need to be able to have movement. So we're engaging on those issues.
You've been to China. The Prime Minister was recently in Mexico. He's now again overseas. A lot of talk with our partners. No deals coming back. Nothing in hand to show Canadians. Should we be concerned about that?
We need to make sure we're having those engagements. I would say the Prime Minister has come back, from example, in Europe with an agreement to be able to work with their defense procurement strategy. The Prime Minister was just at UNGA, one of the most desired world leaders because of his acumen, not only in the business community, but world leaders want to meet with the Prime Minister because of the way that he is positioning Canada, I think, as a pragmatic, moderate power that is able to engage with major powers like China, the United States, but also countries around the world. We believe in multilateralism. So there is benefits coming from all of these types of agreements. I expect that there'll be further engagement with China in the days ahead as the Prime Minister with his bilateral meeting with Premier Lee in New York.
Okay. Kody Blois, thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Todd.
Appreciate it. That's the MP for Kings Hants. We'll take a time out. We'll be right back.